So, Jared, we've been at this a year now, right?
Over a year.
So, what are we thankful for? What are you most thankful for when we started this?
I'm particularly thankful for the way that we've received so much favor from the community, meaning even Middle Tennessee, but the anti-trafficking community, the aviation community, these different major groups of people and institutions have rallied around us in such major ways. From even the IRS approving our 501c3 status in 2 weeks, which is impossible, to DHS pursuing us for a relationship with them for the Blue Lightning campaign, all the anti-trafficking agencies who are helping spread the word, the 140 pilots that have signed up to say, yes, I want to serve in this way, in this major gift. Our cup overflows with things to be grateful for, but it's the favor that we've received from these people that just means so much, because it's not about us. It's not about favor towards you and me. It's nothing we did. They're coming alongside the mission. They're coming alongside wanting to serve in a very unique and a very impactful way, and they see how this can be a solution to that. And that's exciting.
That is. I see God working through this in big ways. I mean, from the beginning of getting our 501c3 in 2 weeks, but even before that, when we just started, we had no resources, no pilots, nothing. And somehow we were able to serve every single flight that we've been asked to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I see that as God showing up every time. Like, I'm gonna make this happen, and He means to. And so we say the community's behind us, but for me, it's very touching to see individuals really step up and really save these women and men who are finding themselves in a bad situation. And so we're somehow brokers in the middle, and it's just neat to see the miracles every time.
Well, and I agree, and I think one big reason why we're seeing so many miracles is because what we are doing, Stephanie, is showing individual people who've had their whole lives stripped from them how infinitely valued they are in the eyes of God.
Yeah. Well, it's amazing to me when we hear from some of our survivors that we call VIPs here. The VIP, because they become the VIP. They start out as the lowest, right? They're not being valued. They're leaving a situation where I think no one cares about them. And then they come to a resource that is beyond what even I would believe. Someone donating their time, their money, and to get on some of these beautiful airplanes and be able to be whisked away to a new life. And hopefully that begins their healing journey, because they see how infinitely valued God thinks they are. Look, I'm going to get you out of that situation. They're not only going to do it by the skin of your teeth and ride in somebody's van for hours, but you're going to be flying on this airplane. You're going to be going where you need to go. Not only that, you're going to get to go with a person you trust, so they're feeling valued through the whole process. And I don't know, that's just important to me to know that each one has felt that way. I know some of the flights that I did, just to see their face, to be surprised that this was being offered, and our go bag drive, the things that we send with them, to know that they're going to have some things. I remember taking one woman, and she didn't have anything, and everything she had was given to her by the nonprofit. So it was like, oh wow, it's hard for us to think of, if we think of like our house burnt down, we lost everything. These people have to walk away from it. Who would choose to leave everything? It's a hard choice, and it's not easy.
I think to be able to facilitate an opportunity for the aviation community, for pilots to be a part of something like that too. We're talking about restoring the value of human life really to all people, and I think part of the way that you help restore value of human life to society is by allowing other people opportunity to be a part of that.
Right.
To be able to serve. And so it's cool to be able to steward relationships with our pilots and grow relationships with them to show them, hey, you are also infinitely valued. And your contributions and your ability to participate in this are also restoring someone else's value in this as well.
Well, and how many of our pilots or other people have been touched by this in their own lives, either through a family member or themselves? And so just a way for them to give back, but also helps their own healing.
Right.
And I've even had one of our pilots said to me that he feels like unlike other volunteer pilot organizations, which are wonderful as well, he's like, well, this one really feels like I'm going up against evil and
Mhm.
I'm making a difference.
Yeah.
And it really does. It's like, you know, it's nice to be able to serve someone who needs medical care. That's great. I mean, that's a service that's much needed. But then with this, it's really fighting something. You know, you're really going up against those evil forces in the world. And yeah.
I don't know that I've actually said this to you in this way, but recently I started reflecting on a comment that I've heard since the beginning of this concept, which is, you know how in the beginning people were skeptical of if this will work or not in all the industries. Well, a comment that I heard in the beginning and throughout our process was, what you're doing is such a small part of countering human trafficking. It's just a piece of it. And they weren't trying to be ugly. They were just trying to say this is just something so small. And what I've reflected on over the last 3 years that we've been working on this together, and what it finally hit me in the last month, I'd say, what we are doing is we are putting a brace on the industry of anti-human trafficking. We're bracing that industry so that they can do prevention, rescue, restoration, all the different things, the whole cycle of it.
Yeah.
And so we are eliminating a barrier of access, not just for the survivor's ability to leave their situation, but for the case management and law enforcement's ability to access the survivor and access freedom. And we're putting this brace on this industry that's going to allow the industry to thrive. And that to me is huge.
Well, we've got to be helping with funding and resources. I mean, if you're trying to take care of someone and get them to this shelter and move them, and it seems like if that burden was taken off, then they're able to help more people.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when we talked at the beginning, even I felt like, well, how am I really helping? Because we've only just moved this one person, let's say. And I remember that's just like God was going to go get one.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter that there's a lot. We're going to help this one and every one that we have rescued out of their situation. That made a huge difference for them. But I also think it's been making a huge difference with the nonprofits that we're serving, because haven't we noticed they've been able to serve more?
They've been able to access more people.
Right,
Yeah.
and so it seems like it's helping the whole
Yeah.
industry, and
It's
maybe
amazing.
bringing a new life, a new funding, a new energy, saying people do want to help.
Right.
Because I think, not everyone knows how to help.
That's
And I
right.
think we've actually funneled volunteers to other
That's right.
nonprofits because of what we do.
Right.
So,
Absolutely. Takes all kinds of people. And we need all the help we can get to make this possible.
always. Well, that's some of the things we're thankful for this year. And
I don't have anything else to
we
say.
don't-
I
We don't know how to wrap it up.
don't.